In the previous class, we discussed about Bohr atom model and its main postulates. An important application of Bohr's theory is that we can derive expressions in order to calculate the radius of the electron orbit in a hydrogen atom, the velocity and also the energy of the electron when present in any of these orbits. So in this class, let's see how to derive the expression for the radius of the Bohr orbit, the velocity and the energy of electron in an orbit. Consider an electron of mass m and charge minus e moving with a velocity v around the nucleus. Let the charge of the nucleus be plus z into e, where z is the atomic number. Let r be the radius of the orbit. Since the nucleus and electron are oppositely charged, there will always be an attractive force. This nuclear attractive force Fe is given by Ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. Equation 1. Since the electron is revolving around the nucleus, there will also be a centrifugal force given by Fc equals mv square by r. Equation 2. For a stable circular motion of the electron in its orbit, the nuclear attractive force on the electron must be equal to the centrifugal force on it. That is, for a stable orbit, Fe should be equal to Fc. So equating 1 and 2, we'll get Ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught r square is equal to mv square by r. From this we get v square is equal to Ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught mr. In Bohr's theory, we have seen that only those orbits are permitted for an electron in which its angular momentum is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. That is, the angular momentum is quantized. And that is given as mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi, where h is the Planck's constant. So v equals nh by 2 pi mr. On squaring, we get v square is equal to nh by 2 pi mr the whole square. Equation 5. In equation 3, we get v square is equal to ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught mr. So substituting for v square in equation 5, we get nh by 2 pi mr the whole square is equal to ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught mr. Now from this, find out r, which is the radius of the Bohr orbit. That is, r is equal to n square h square epsilon naught by pi m z e square. So this is the expression for the radius of the Bohr orbit, where r is the radius of the nth Bohr orbit. For hydrogen atom, z is equal to 1. Therefore, r is equal to n square h square epsilon naught by pi me square. If we substitute the values of h, the Planck's constant, which is 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second, epsilon naught is equal to 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12. Epsilon naught is the permittivity of the space. Then mass of the electron is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31. E is the charge, that is 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19. So if we substitute these values, the equation becomes r is equal to 0.53 into n square by z angstrom. Next, we will see how to find out the velocity of the electron. From Bohr's theory, we have mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi, and from that v is equal to nh by 2 pi mr. We already got the radius of the Bohr orbit, that is r is equal to n square h square epsilon naught by pi m z e square. So in equation 2, substitute the value of r. So we get v is equal to nh by 2 pi m into the value of the r, n square h square epsilon naught by pi m z e square. So from this, we get the velocity of the electron as v is equal to Ze square by 2nh epsilon naught. Again, if we substitute the values for m, e, epsilon naught and h, we get the velocity of electron in the nth Bohr orbit as v is equal to 2.19 into 10 raised to 6 z by n meter per second. Now let's find the energy of an electron in a Bohr orbit. The energy of an electron revolving around the nucleus is the sum of its kinetic energy and potential energy. The kinetic energy of the electron is given by Ek is equal to half mv square, the well-known equation. We know that v square is equal to ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught mr. So substituting the value of v square in equation 1, we get Ek is equal to half m into ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught mr, which is equal to ze square by 8 epsilon naught r. Equation 2. The potential energy Ep is given by minus ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught r. Let it be equation 3. The total energy En is the sum of kinetic and potential energy. That is, En is equal to Ek plus Ep. That is, ze square by 8 pi epsilon naught r plus minus ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught r, which is equal to minus z square by 8 pi epsilon naught r. Equation 4. We have already derived the radius of the Bohr orbit as r is equal to n square h square epsilon naught by pi m z square. Now substitute the value of r in equation 4. Then we get En is equal to minus z square by 8 pi epsilon naught into the value of r. R is in the denominator. So when we substitute it, we get pi m z e square by n square h square epsilon naught. Pi will get cancelled off. Finally, we get En is equal to minus m e raised to 4 by 8 epsilon naught square h square into z square by n square. And this is the energy of the electron in a Bohr orbit of radius r. That is, E is equal to minus m e raised to 4 by 8 epsilon naught square h square into z square by n square. If we substitute the values of m, epsilon naught, e, h, etc., we get En is equal to minus 2.179 into 10 raised to minus 18 z square by n square joule per atom, or En is equal to minus 1.316 into 10 raised to 6 z square by n square joule per mole of atoms. Please note that the energy of the electron in an atom is negative because it is less than the energy of a free electron, which is taken as 0. To summarize, the radius of the Bohr orbit is r is equal to n square h square epsilon naught by pi m z e square. Velocity of electron is given by v is equal to z square by 2 n h epsilon naught, and energy of the electron is En is equal to minus m e raised to 4 by 8 epsilon naught square h square into z square by n square.